Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome. Today's topic is John S. Ray's Oberlin College Diary, 1942 to 1943, Part 2. Sunday, November 22. Got 9 hours sleep last night for the first time in over 5 weeks. Sang in the First Church Choir under Dr. Kessler as usual this morning. Studied all afternoon and most of the evening. Had crackers for supper tonight as usual. Got to bed early. Monday, November 23, 1942. Dr. Thompson looked over my heart this afternoon. Said he doubted whether I would be accepted in any of the Reserve Corps. Talked with Mr. Seaman. He said that I should have Dr. Bradshaw check my heart. He is the official physician for the Marines, Army Unassigned, and Navy V1. I'll see him Wednesday. My draft papers came in a letter from home this afternoon. It has been raining nearly all day. Studied all evening for a chemistry blue book in the morning. Tuesday, November 24th. I'm afraid I messed up my chemistry blue book this morning. Studied 6 hours for it. Made my first record in Spanish this afternoon. Studied over 4 hours on English and math this evening. Got a date with Kathleen Denman for tomorrow night. Didn't get to bed until after 1. Wednesday, November 25th. Mr. Singleton said that he was, quote, frustrated with this year's freshman class. He said that we are absolutely the dumbest class he has ever seen. Dr. Bradshaw looked over my heart this afternoon and said that I am physically unfit to be in the Army, Navy, or Marine Reserve Corps. Applied for a job as waiter at the Oberlin Inn. Filled out my questionnaire. Kay and I went to the rec and the show. She had an 11 per. It certainly feels good to be able to go to bed and know that you don't have to get up in the morning. November 26th, 1942. Didn't have too much to eat this afternoon for Thanksgiving. Got into a terrific bull session this evening. Didn't get to bed until after 2. Friday, November 27th. Got up at 6:30 a.m. to write an English paper. Got sleepy as the dickens today. Went to church and glee club practice. We get our chemistry blue books back tomorrow. I'm afraid it's going to be a sad story. I think I flunked it. Saturday, November 28th. Got our chemistry blue books back. I had a 70 and placed 48th in a class of 71. One mistake, which took off 16 points, was inverting a fraction in a gas problem. Had the fraction been right side up, my chemistry grade would have gone up to a B, as well as my 4-subject average. It's enough to make you sick. Dr. Steiner gave us a quiz with only 3 minutes left in the period. Got a letter from my draft board saying that I could be transferred from Marion, Ohio to Oberlin for my screening examination. Our volleyball team won 2 more games this afternoon. Tarno and I went to see, quote, The Time of Your Life. It was very good, but I didn't understand it very well. I don't believe many people did. Sunday, November 29th. Sang in the church choir this morning. Studied 3 hours this afternoon and nearly 5 this evening. We had a spread in Bruce Partridge's room. I'm having blue books in math and Spanish in the morning. I'm setting the alarm for 4 o'clock a.m. It is after 1:30 a.m. now. Won't get much sleep. Monday, November 30th. Got up at 5 o'clock a.m. this morning and studied for the Spanish blue book. My thinking got all muddled while I was taking the math blue book. The Spanish blue book wasn't too hard. To top off the morning, Mr. Singleton gave us a full period quiz. The quiz had only one question. What a morning! And finally caught up with all my work. I hereby resolve to keep up in my work for the rest of the year. Bob Wood asked me to take Gretsch somewhere Thursday night. I guess it's the MB Rec. I've only had 3 hours sleep out of the last 35. I'm going to bed early. Tuesday, December 1. Got our Spanish blue books back. I had a B. I've got to do better than that. Got a card from Aunt Mary Freilich saying that she was sending a box of candy. It is getting very cold. Wednesday, December 2. Got our math blue books back. I had a 70, a C minus. She was very generous. I really think that I flunked it. Got our themes back in English composition. Finally got up to a C. Wilson got a B plus. Lucky boy. Scored 2 volleyball games. Aunt Mary's candy came. It's all gone. Worked 4 hours on some chemistry problems this evening. Wouldn't be surprised if the temperature was below 0 degrees. Thursday, December 3. Gretchen and I went to the MB Rec tonight. We had a good old time. Only trouble was that I had 3 long assignments to get after I got home. Studied from 9 o'clock p.m. until 2:30 a.m. As usual, I won't get much sleep. Friday, December 4th. Was very sleepy today. Dorothy Canfield Fisher keynoted the Women's Symposium today in chapel. Had 4 choir and glee club rehearsals. Grandma Zook is sending some cookies. Tarnow, Mitchell, Sebens, and I had a very interesting bull session. I have decided that it would be better to cut out all smoking and cursing. It's after 1 o'clock a.m. Saturday, December 5th. Got a 10 on the chemistry paper that I spent 4 hours on. We won the freshman volleyball championship this afternoon with a double win. Sang in the free French Bazaar at 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock p.m. Kay and I went to the all-college rec. Grandma Zook's cookies came. They're all gone. Sunday, December 6th. Sang in the church choir this morning. Had a very nice snow last night. President Franklin D. Roosevelt announced that all enlistments, including reserve, are closed today in the Army and Navy. The Messiah was given this evening under the direction of Dr. Kessler. Studied over 8 hours on my English and math. It's about 2:30 a.m. Monday, December 7th, 1942. Did some extra work in chemistry lab this afternoon. Had our second talk on sex in gym. Worked 4 hours on chemistry this evening. We'll get almost 7.5 hours sleep. Hooray! Tuesday, December 8th. Had a snap quiz in chemistry this morning. Spent 2.5 hours in the chemistry lab this afternoon. Studied nearly 5 hours this evening. Had a little trouble with math. I'm getting up early in the morning to study. Wednesday, December 9th. I set the alarm for 5:30 this morning so that I could get up and study. Slept through it. Ed didn't wake me up. Got through the morning okay, though. Made a Spanish record and spent about an hour in makeup chemistry lab this afternoon. Got my draft classification. It's 2A. I'm going to bed early for a change. Sebe and I made some bouillon before going to bed. Thursday, December 10th. Got my tickets home this afternoon. Spent 2.5 hours in chemistry lab. Got in over a 5 hours study this evening. Have a date with Kay Denman for Saturday night. The alarm is set for 6 so that I can get in more study. Dean Whitkey told Ed that he is not passing enough hours to remain in school. I hope that he brings them up in time, his grades. Friday, December 11th. Got my first A in Oberlin on an English composition quiz that we got back this morning. Allegheny beat Oberlin 39-36 tonight in basketball in the season opener. Scotch played a terrific defensive game but wasn't so good on offense. He made only 1 point. Had another bull session. Saturday, December 12th. May Cottage had a formal tea this afternoon. It was quite a brawl. Scotch got everyone's grades this afternoon. Mine were as follows. English composition, C-, Gym, C+, Spanish, B, Chemistry, C+, and math B+. This averages 79 or C+. Broadhag will probably have the best average in the house. Scotch doesn't have his grades yet. Dad called and said that I have been reclassified into 1A. Kay and I went to the all-college rec. There was an hour of square dancing beforehand. It was quite a brawl. Wrote another letter to my draft board requesting that I be transferred to Oberlin for my screening examination. Sunday, December 13th. Studied 5 hours on math this afternoon and 3 on English this evening. The First Church Choir gave a carol service this evening. Dr. Kessler certainly is a wonderful fellow. He shook hands with each of the 130 choir members after the service. Sebens and Tarnow were in Cleveland trying for V1. Seb made it, but Tarnow didn't because of his eyes. The alarm is set for 4 o'clock a.m. I have an English theme to finish. Monday, December 14th. Couldn't work up enough energy to get out of bed until 5:20 a.m. Just barely finished my theme. Spent about an hour in chemistry lab. Broadhag got his grades. His average of 81 is the best in the house. Bruce Partridge is next with an 80, and I am third. There was a Christmas rec tonight. I didn't think about getting a date in time to go. I'm finally going to get 8 hours sleep again. Tuesday, December 15th. Got a letter from my draft board which okayed my transfer to Oberlin for my screening examination. Spent nearly 3 hours in chemistry lab. Artur Radzinski led the Cleveland Orchestra in a program in Finney Chapel this evening. Dr. Holmes gave an excellent talk in chapel this noon. Wednesday, December 16th. I set the clock ahead an hour last night accidentally. Ed and I got up at 6 and started to get ready for breakfast. Did we get the horse laugh? Got an A+ on the syllogisms that Mr. Singleton handed back. Had a good Christmas chapel. When I got back from chemistry lab, the room was elaborately decorated with toilet paper. Very nice. Oberlin beat Fenn 54-27 tonight in basketball. Scotch went out on fouls in the first minute of the second half. We cleaned up all of the dirty dishes after the house meeting. Thursday, December 17th. Dr. Steiner was the only professor that gave me any assignments over vacation. He announced an open blue book the Saturday after we get back. That sure sounds tough. Finished my lab experiments up to number 50. It was snowing like the dickens when I started to hitchhike to Wellington, Ohio. The train was about a half an hour late. Mother and Carol met me at the train station in Sandusky during a blackout. Mother has been a little sick with the flu. Friday, December 18th to Sunday, December 27th. Christmas vacation. Monday, December 28th. Bruce and Bob McMickle got in at 8:30 this morning. They both had 8 o'clocks. They both made it okay. Wilson was the last one in. He got in about 10:30 a.m. and plenty of time for his 11 o'clock. None of the boys seem especially glad to be back. They had had too much fun over vacation. One of the village jewelers had $600 worth of watches stolen on Christmas Eve. Kay and I went to the rec. Got a date with Gretch for Saturday night. Wilson, Broadhag, and I got into quite a discussion over a chemistry problem. Tuesday, December 29th. Got back to the old grind today. Nearly slept through breakfast and dinner. It has been rainy now for several days. Ed got a B in a music app blue book. That'll bring up his E. Tarnow's woman sent a telegram saying that she would be here tomorrow evening. Wednesday, December 30th. It got much colder today. The slush turned into ice. Our house lost its first basketball game to the Anchorage, 20-15. Seb and I made some more bouillon. Got in over 5 hours studying. It's after 3 o'clock a.m. Thursday, December 31. Tarno's girl was here today. A nice little chicken. 4 of the boys went to the formal. Don and I went to the show. Friday, January 1, 1943. Didn't get up until after 12. Studied chemistry this afternoon. Went to choir and glee club practices. Got to bed early. Here's hoping that the chemistry blue book isn't too tough. Saturday, January 2, 1943. Studied chemistry this morning for 3 hours. I think that I did okay. Here's hoping again. Went to the hangover hop with Gretsch this afternoon. Oberlin beat Camp Perry 58-41 in basketball. Their center had one of the most beautiful bodies that I've ever seen. Tarno, Elmer, and I went to the show. Sunday, January 3rd. Sang in the choir this morning. Had our picture taken for men's glee club. Everyone wore his tux. The streets and sidewalks are very slippery. Got in 6 hours study. I'm setting the alarm for 6 o'clock a.m. so that I can get in some more study for the Spanish test. Monday, January 4th. Got up at 6 a.m. and studied Spanish. The test wasn't too tough. Hope I finally got an A. Got an E on the hour quiz that we had in English composition about 6 weeks ago. Good gosh, that's terrible. 12 of my 13 chemistry experiments were okayed. Cleaned the rust off the rims of my bike. Kay and I went to the wreck. Bruce got word today that one of his friends was killed while working with a volunteer fire squad. He's been feeling pretty low about it. Tuesday, January 5th. A near miracle happened this morning. I got a 92, A-, and placed second in a class of 68 on my chemistry blue book. Tarno and Dewey flunked again. Kay got a 60. She's going to have a conference with Dr. Steiner. Spent 2.5 hours in chemistry lab. Studied over 6 hours this afternoon and this evening. I have the clock set for 3:30 a.m. I have an English paper to do. It is 12:35 now. Don't think I'll get much sleep. Wednesday, January 6th. Got up at 3:40 a.m. and did the English paper. Spent 11 hours preparing for this morning's classes. Got a C+ on my 4th English theme. Heard from Virginia. We won our second basketball game, 40-18. C made 20 points. I am going to bed early. Thursday, January 7th. Had a tough time getting out of bed this morning. Finished experiment 56 in chemistry lab today, and I'm up to date. 5 of us picked up Wilson and took him out and dropped him in the snow, stripped. We pawned our milk bottles for some food. Friday, January 8th. Made a Spanish record this afternoon. Went to choir practice. 5 of us went to see the movie Road to Morocco. The boys who swiped the 43 fuses from May Cottage were tried yesterday. They were put on probation. Saturday, January 9th. Oberlin swam Ohio Wesleyan here this afternoon. Harold Freilich swam the 220 and the 440. He had to go right back. Oberlin won 54-21. Oberlin beat Kenyon 72-48 this evening in basketball. Scotch made 12 points and did not go out on fouls. We had a 10-1 bet that he would go out on fouls. I lost 50 cents. I went to see the movie Pied Piper. It was very good. Wilson poured a bucket of snow on Sebens while he was taking a bath. Sunday, January 10th. Sang in the choir this morning. Had glee club rehearsal this afternoon. Had several snowball fights. Monday, January 11th. Got a B on my Spanish pronunciation. We got the Spanish tests back that we took last week. I had an A-. Played basketball after gym. May Cottage had a birthday party this evening. Kay and I went to the wreck. Ed brought an injured sparrow up to the room this evening. He and I decided to climb the smokestack behind the gym next Saturday night after the formal. Tuesday, January 12th. Mrs. Barlow took a professor cut this morning. I finally heard about the science talent test that I took last year. They're going to keep track of each contestant for 10 years. We ran our first titrations today in chemistry lab. Finally got my watch back from the jeweler. Wednesday, January 13th. We lost our basketball game this evening, 16-17. Ed made a basket just before the end of the game. However, he'd taken steps, so the basket didn't count. Tough game to lose. Bruce Partridge came out on top in the physics aptitude test. I will start working at the Oberlin Inn next Monday, waiting table. Bruce got the job for me. Thursday, January 14th. Worked on a tough equilibrium experiment today in chemistry lab. Have been hung up most of the evening on a lousy trigonometry problem. The alarm is set for 5:30 a.m. Maybe it'll come to me in the morning. Friday, January 15th. Didn't get the trigonometry problem until she explained it in class. Worked in the chemistry lab for a while. Played basketball for over an hour this afternoon. Had quite a talk with Dean Bosworth this afternoon. He's a real guy. I think that Bruce got some bad news about his father. Saturday, January 16th. Bruce Partridge's father is in a bad way. Bruce has been feeling pretty low about it. Got 2 10s in chemistry this morning. Oberlin beat Denison 51-48 in basketball. Scotch went out on fouls. Kay and I had a swell time at the Tri-House Formal. After the formal, Ed and I went down and climbed the smokestack behind the gym. It was an experience that I'll never forget. Sunday, January 17th. Got up and went to church this morning. Did trigonometry and went to Glee Club practice this afternoon. Bruce, Sebe, and Don went down to climb the smokestack this evening. However, the watchmen were still there and they didn't get a chance to try. Monday, January 18th. We had a 10-minute quiz in English this morning. Began waiting table at the Oberlin Inn. I think it'll work out okay. The food is swell. Scored in time 3 intramural basketball games this evening. Dewey said that he is planning to stay second semester. Tuesday, January 19th. Bruce Partridge told me that 2 boys were expelled for trying to climb the smokestack 2 years ago. He also said that a boy was killed trying to climb it 6 years ago. Wow! I guess that Ed and I were pretty lucky. Waited on more customers today. Spent most of the afternoon in chemistry lab. Wednesday, January 20th. Made a Spanish record and went to chemistry lab for a while. Had Glee Club rehearsal. It was below 0 this morning. Thursday, January 21. Finished all of my assigned experiments in chemistry lab. Had a terrific rush at the Oberlin Inn with 2 big parties. The Glee Club practiced in the chapel this evening. Friday, January 22. Our gym final has been moved back a week. Worked on my trigonometry problems. Had our last Glee Club rehearsal before the concert. Saturday, January 23rd. Worked on my trig final this morning and this afternoon. Got off work early to get to the concert. It didn't go too badly. Kay and I went to the formal afterward. I am very tired. To be continued. So that concludes our presentation of John S. Ray's Oberlin College Diary, 1942 to 1943, Part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your own efforts in family history preservation, if that interests you. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.